Hello everyone. Today, I have another inspiring story for you, one that will remind you that it's never too late to start again. This story is called The Bridge of Second Chances. It's about a man who lost everything, but found hope in the most unexpected way. There was a man named Daniel, 45 years old, living in a busy city near a large river. He used to work as an engineer for a big construction company. For many years, Daniel built bridges, tall buildings, and roads, things that connected people. But one day, everything changed. Due to a mistake on a construction project, Daniel was blamed for an accident that caused major damage. Even though it wasn't entirely his fault, he lost his job. Soon, he lost his apartment, his savings, and his confidence. He moved to a small village by the river, far from the noise of the city. He lived alone in a small wooden hut, surviving on small repair jobs. Every evening, Daniel sat by the old broken bridge near the village. The bridge had been destroyed in a storm years ago, leaving the two sides of the river disconnected. The villagers had to walk miles just to reach the market on the other side. Daniel looked at the broken bridge and thought, that bridge is just like my life, broken, forgotten, and useless. One morning, while Daniel was sitting near the bridge, a little girl named Maya came up to him. She asked, "Mister, will you ever fix this bridge? My grandma can't walk far to get medicine." Daniel smiled sadly and said, "I don't think anyone would trust me to build again." Maya looked confused and replied, "But you said you used to build bridges, right? Then you can fix it. You just have to start." Her innocent words hit Daniel deeply. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He thought about Maya's words over and over. You just have to start. The next morning, Daniel walked to the village chief and said, "Sir, I want to rebuild the bridge." The chief laughed. "With what money, Daniel? We barely have funds for repairs." Daniel replied calmly, "I'll do it for free. All I ask is that the villagers help me with materials." The chief hesitated but agreed. So Daniel began. At first, many people doubted him. Some whispered, "That's the man who failed in the city." But Daniel ignored them. He worked from sunrise to sunset, drawing plans, cutting wood, and carrying stones. Maya often came by with her friends, bringing him water and cheering him on. Slowly, others joined one, brought nails, another offered rope, someone donated old planks. A small team was forming. Weeks passed. The bridge began to take shape. Daniel guided everyone patiently, teaching them how to measure, balance, and secure the structure. He smiled again for the first time in years. But one evening, a strong storm hit the village. The half-built bridge shook under the heavy rain. Daniel rushed out into the storm to check the structure. The villagers begged him to stay inside, but he shouted, "If I give up now, everything will be lost." He worked through the night, tightening ropes and reinforcing the supports. By sunrise, the storm had passed, and the bridge was still standing. The villagers cheered, and Daniel felt something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. After 2 months of hard work, the bridge was finally complete. It wasn't the biggest or the fanciest, but it was strong and beautiful. On the day of the opening, the villagers gathered around. Maya and her grandmother were the first to cross. The old woman had tears in her eyes. She said, "Thank you, Daniel. You didn't just build a bridge, you built hope for us." The village chief came forward and said, "You have proven that failure is not the end. It's just a bend in the road." Daniel smiled and replied, "I thought my life was over when I lost everything, but now I see I only lost my way, not my purpose." From that day on, Daniel became known as the bridge builder. He didn't return to the city. Instead, he started teaching young people in the village how to build safely, how to repair, and how to dream big. He told them, "A bridge doesn't just connect land, It connects hearts, dreams, and possibilities. Years later, people from nearby towns came to see Daniel's bridge and hear his story. When asked what inspired him to start again, Daniel always said, "A little girl believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Sometimes that's all we need, one person to remind us that we can still build again. Daniel's story teaches us powerful lessons. Failure is not the end, it's a lesson. When you help others, you rebuild yourself. You don't need everything to start, just the courage to begin. A single act of kindness can change someone's life forever. So remember, no matter how broken things seem, you can always rebuild your bridge. Because life will always give you a second chance if you have the strength to take it. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe channel.